Hey, little orcs and hobbits, welcome back to another Dawnless Days siege view here today. You thought I'd forgotten about Dawnless Days sieges with the campaign coming out. We have not indeed. This is probably going to be one of the final sieges, I imagine, for Dawnless Days, at least on this version. Don't worry, not forever. We have not finished with our glorious Lord of the Rings battles and sieges on the channel. It's not going to be just campaign central. There will be a heck of a lot of campaign, and I know we have been focusing on it with the early access release out. But yeah, I have not forgotten about you guys that do enjoy seeing sieges and battles as well. And we have a very, very close one here for you today on, this is the generic Northman settlement, I believe, isn't it? We see this one quite a lot at the moment. It is a pretty fun map. And we have on the defense here today, we do have Dale and Gondor, two Mannish factions here on the defense against, we have Isengard and we also have the Goblins. So yeah, this should be a very, very interesting matchup, that's for sure. Isengard here sending forward mortal rabble to capture these towers. Very smart. You know, these guys are expendable. They're literally 300-man units, or 300 orc units, I should say. They really add nothing to an attack. They are just mass. And perfect for sort of like, yeah, taking out towers and taking out sort of like objectives like that. So yeah, that's really, really good start there for Isengard, taking out towers. Otherwise, the damaged, more important units like the Grenadiers back here. And we also have all this shock infantry up here as well. Mordor Uruks, Goblin bodyguards. All to come forward as well. The Pikes even as well. We've got a whole load of bow rabble over here and Goblin heavy archers. For some reason, Evil sent all of his archers down here, whether to try and get a bit of a flank. Looks like Dale was having, not Dale, sorry, Gondor was having none of it with his Ithilien Rangers here ready to duel with them. But yeah, he's already falling back. It looks like they're not going to attempt to do that little flank there. Whether they were worried as well of maybe like a sally out from any cavalry that the men might have. Evidently they were, because Isengard has wargs there, but yeah, there's no cavalry for the Mannish factions here, so any sort of sally out will be coming from infantry and infantry alone, but it looks like I would imagine they are going to be digging in and staying inside their settlement, because it is 6,900, pretty much 7k against 3,300 men, so obviously numbers don't mean everything. A lot of these units are, certainly for the Goblins and even Isengard here, are pretty large, but not that in charge. They are pretty much just mass and not quality at all. So they like the Mountain Marauders. They're okay. They can, you know, can pack a bit of a punch against less units. But going up against things like the Citadel Guards, which I've seen, and we've got Violent Guards as well, I think, in these shield walls over here. Well, actually, no, over here. Violent Guards, yeah. I've got polearms and, yeah, and the Citadel Guards here. They are going to get beaten back by those sorts of units. So yeah, there's a lot of mass here that the Goblins bring. That's kind of their style. Goblins is bringing a lot of mass and not necessarily a lot of quality. They have got some scattered about in like the Goblin King and High Chieftain Guard, and also the Goblin Bodyguard as well. And the Mordor Uruks, they're pretty good as well on their day. So yeah, so they have got some good units. Isengard probably is going to provide a bit more of the quality rather than the Goblins, who are just, you know, bringing some numbers along for the party. But yeah, let me know in the comments who you're rooting for. Are you Team Evil or are you Team Good? I'd be interested to know who you're rooting for. And I'm also going to put out a poll in the next couple of days for you guys to start to vote on what you want to see as the next campaign. Not that Mordor's over, it's just that I'm going to have multiple campaigns running at once. So we're going to try and have like at least one campaign that we regularly live stream, and also a campaign that we like have at least 2 recorded campaigns on the go at a time for you guys, because Mordor, I have a feeling, is going to take a long time to do. It's going to be a pretty tough campaign. I feel like we can get some campaigns, other ones on the way as well, like Gondor potentially. I imagine it's one that people will want to see. Or maybe an Elven campaign as well would be also great to see. So yeah, I will be putting a poll out soon for you guys to vote on. It'll be out in the next coming days, probably. It might even be out on the same day that this video is released. Who knows? But yes, if you want to let me know, you can also let me know in the comments if you've got this video, I guess, as well, if you've got any ideas. And I'll take them into consideration when choosing what to do, because we've got a whole host of options, really. And only more arriving as well. I mean, there are still some factions that are yet to be added to the campaign. I think Lothlorien and Gundabad. I'm not sure about Lothlorien, but Gundabad certainly isn't in it. And the Orocani, I believe, are going to be added in as well, so there'll be even more Dwarven factions to play with. But yeah, it looks like the Marauders here, as I said, already taking a lot of casualties. I think that's got something to do with the Archer Tower as well, which is literally here, so I think they're trying to capture that. but also they are getting piked. Well, not piked, but polearmed to death here a bit. Coast Guards are just kind of just standing here and doing some stabby. And the shock infantry here, the half-orc axes, not really able to get really that close in range. And the Citadel Guards are doing a good job protecting their comrades in hand as well. But yes, the half-orc axes there, losing decisively, no surprise. And the same over here as well, the Marauders are losing as well, as you can see. They are burning down the settlement. I don't know if that's the half-orc axes or the Marauders. I feel like with the name Marauders, it might be them doing the burning, though, which is going to do some damage eventually, potentially, like to morale and weapon damage, but not masses. It's not like it used to be in, well, or is in vanilla Attila, where it can do horrendous amounts of damage to your morale. Yes, Gondor here is doing absolutely fine, though I'm surprised we've not seen Evils shift forward any of his archers. He is now, or at least the Goblin player is shifting forward his archers. He's going to, I presume, bring them down here. It's a bit of a risk, but he could definitely get side shots or back shots into these Coast Guards and Citadel Guards there. That is probably the choke point he wants to really unlock. On the other hand, I don't know where Evil's other archers are. They're all over here. Isengard has his bow rabble waiting patiently. But I don't think he's going to outgun any of these archers. The yeomen are actually pretty reasonable missile troops. They have 200 range and they are tier 1 very light bows. So really cheap and actually very effective. They're already doing damage to these Marauders here. I have to hold fire on these Marauders. You're going to kill these guys off pretty effectively. And here we go. Towers are being burnt by Mortal Rabble, so they're going to choose to burn it rather than capture it, which probably is the easier of the two options. They could, if he wanted to try and charge out here and do some damage to the Marauders. And we've got Faramir defending the settlement here. You've got all the Athelian Rangers coming across. I think they're getting ready to duel with the Goblin Heavy Archers, so that will be an interesting fight to see who is that, because these Goblin Heavy Archers are not too shabby either.
They're trying to take out our general! Defend him!
But yeah, if you want to send in your own replays for Dawnless Days or any Total War, if you want to have your, you know, battles shown off on the small screen of YouTube, then do send them into my Discord. The link is down below, as always, in the description of the video. And if you want to, you know, support the channel, help us towards 14k subs, we're already on our way there. After just recently hitting the milestone of 13k, then do feel free as well to support the channel, leave a like, subscribe, like I said, commenting, all that stuff helps the algorithm, gets me more noticed. So yeah, if you want to help support, it'd be very much appreciated as well. And look at this, we've got actually a charge out here from Dale. Technically, I guess it's sort of a sally out. He's just dealing with the rabble. I'm surprised that Evil's not maybe jumped on this. These rabble will hold for a little while just with the numbers they have. They're going to lose, but I'll probably break around 150, 100. I'm surprised that no one jumped on this and was like, let's just encircle his Violent Guard, or at least try and get it encircled, or at least force it back. So yeah, it's kind of surprised it is. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big loss here for Isengard. Like we said earlier, Mortal Rabble don't really add much to a siege apart from numbers. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't maybe try and jump on this, use this as bait, as a rabble, and then just strike with, I don't know, Uruk-hai infantry, or maybe even the wargs, just get them in there. But yeah, settlement is burning now, 6%. Not done a lot, though. That's not like masses of damage. I think it needs to get to 10%, then it'll start to do maybe morale damage or weapon damage. The Violent Guards going in, they are... I mean, it seems like Dale and Gondor are really committing the elites earlier. It's an interesting move. They do seem to have just elites, to be honest.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a look around, I mean, yeah, Violent Guards here, Violent Guards. Violent Guards, Violent Guards. I mean, the Yeomen obviously are the cheapest sort of units. What have we got back here? More Violent Guards. Yeah, I mean, now there's no caps on units. Like unit caps just mean that people just spam out elites. So we've got one watch post sentry back there just to guide that side. We've got a Citadel Guard for Gondor here. Like, they have put a really expensive spear unit to defend this area. I'd have probably bought a cheaper spear, maybe, just to have as a rear guard, rather than, you know, having 1,000 gold back there guarding that spot. Over on the side, yeah, more Violent Guards, Citadel Guards. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure Gondor's just brought all elite spears, and then Dale has brought all elite swords. And then there are some polearms for you know, for Gondor as well, and Dale. But yeah, like, all their melee infantry, pretty much, is elite tier 4 stuff. At least the attacks, you know, brought a little bit more of a mixture. Goblins, for instance, have only brought one goblin bodyguard by the looks of it. They might have a few more. It looked like they only had one. Marauders going in. Like, I mean, like we're seeing here, with lots of cheaper infantry being sent in first. Half-orc axes coming forward here. They're being sent. They're going to get shot on their way in, though. Again, I won't waste too much ammo on them. Like, there are better targets. The Mordor Uruks, the Grenadiers for sure. I'd be saving ammo for them. We got, yeah, I don't think he's brought a single Berserker actually as Isengard. He's just brought the half-orc axes. Got one Goblin bodyguard here. Oh no, we got a second one and a third one actually. Okay, so he's brought more than I thought. But still not like spam them out, because sometimes we have just seen like battles and sieges and they have just spammed out Goblin bodyguards and kind of like gone against what is the ethos of the goblins, which is numbers. You don't, Goblin bodyguards are good, but it's it means you're quite one, like very much narrow-minded, going for an elite shock. And if you lose the range fight and your archers get beaten by the defending range, and you're then a very elite shock infantry just gets focused down and killed. At least, you know, as goblins, you have so many goblins. There aren't enough arrows in the world to kill them all. Some will get through if you do like the strategy that we're sort of seeing here today. You can do it even more effectively, I think, if you just bring a lot more of the swords and just don't bring any elite shock. And the Mordor Uruks, I think, are like the best ones to bring in that sense. It's just going for like bang for buck. They can bang, and they're not too expensive, and they're pretty large in number still. They're still like, well, the Goblin bodyguards are 165 actually. To be fair, 190 though for the Mordor Uruks for a tier 3 shock infantry. It's pretty good, and they can last quite a while. So guards nearly dead. 22 of them left. Shields ready, they're getting missile block chance and entity mass and melee defense upgrades, but they are losing. These cycle charges from the half-orc axes is doing them over.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
But yep, the polearm line holds for now. Still got 114 in that unit. Still yet to see any archers being committed though by the attackers, and I think that's a mistake. Well, they have tried over here. You can see here. So we did try. We didn't have a look at it, but yeah, you can see the missiles here have all died. You can see all the bodies. Archer v Archer. Their Ithilien Rangers won that easily. They're actually set up quite nicely here. I think they were shooting Faramir, which is not a bad idea to be honest. Try and shoot Faramir, kill him because he's gonna have very little missile block chance. I think 0, same as the rest of the archers to be honest. Kill him, obviously takes head off the snake, does a lot of damage to the morale of some of these Gondor units. But they are tier 4, so they'll have some reasonable morale as it is. And his archers are tier 4 as well, so these guys are actually going to do pretty well in melee, even once they go out of ammo. So that's, I think, why he's brought them here today. It can be a risk though. I've seen a lot of players waste the Ithilien Rangers because they have such little armor and no missile block. You see like 1,000 gold just get wasted as like Mordor rabble take them out, or even the heavy archers here. Yeah, it looks like they lost the range fight to start with, and once you start to lose it a little bit, you can never really retake the initiative. It's kind of a bit of a problem. It was certainly really highly competitive Dawnless Days sieges and battles. It's quite hard to, because players know the importance of archers, and as soon as you bring them forward again, they're going to shoot them. Unless you send something else equally important forward to wait for them to use ammo on, they are not going to use their ammo. They're going to lie in wait, and they will wait for archers to come back again. Like this Gondor player is. He's not shooting any of these Uruks or anything like that. He's leaving that to Dale right now. Mainly because Dale's, I think, got the better angle from his position. This is not a bad position, actually, for the Athelian archers. But yeah, Dale here can just sort of set up here, and he's doing it already, as you can see, and he's getting side shots into the choke point here. I mean, numbers-wise, like I said, it's they have closed the gap actually already. I mean, it started 7,000 against 3,000, but it's now they haven't even lost it. Got like under 3,000 troops here, have the defenders, while the attackers are down to 5,000, nearly 5,600. But yeah, I feel like that's because they're not stretching the defenders. It's literally been a one choke point battle. We've had a little bit of a fight over here, but not much. But yeah, I mean, they need to take advantage of their numbers to evil and just sort of, you know, attack on more fronts. I know it's a bit risky, and some just have to be like feints. You don't need to fully commit to all of them, but I would at least try and like, you know, try and test the defenses a little bit. You like got so many choke points you can hit. It's 4 different choke points, and it might then force the archers here to shoot some other stuff. Like if you bring forward polearms or the Grenadiers, archers might get forced to do stuff. And instead of like just, you know, waiting for the archers of the goblins or, you know, Isengard's archers to come forward again. I also have a feeling they might be regretting. I mean, Isengard's brought a decent amount of Uruk-hai infantry, but I wonder if they're already regretting not bringing enough sword infantry. Like goblins have brought a lot of marauders, and not a lot of like knight raiders or any of the goblin warriors, which I think are quite useful. They got their means for bringing as well. Like I said, mass is a reason to bring them, and also just missile block.
The enemy have rallied their units.
Reassuringly though, for the attackers, they have got a lot of their elites left. I mean, the defenders only have elites, but yeah, the attackers have still got to use all of their elites up, so they might make a bit more progress against this tier 4 infantry spam that the defenders are going for. There you go. That Violent Guard is nearly gone. That's one Violent Guard gone, one Citadel Guard nearly gone, but there's still a fair few to get through. Missiles also shooting more half-orc axes as they come in. Mortar Uruks still getting shot as well. Here we go. Again, look at this. Immediately, as soon as he gets into range, Athenian Rangers are going to laser him. And also, it's harder for him to shoot back at the Athenian Rangers because they can stay hidden and shoot. So he actually needs to get something kind of close up to the front line just so it unveils the Athenian Rangers. They've got pretty good range, and I think Faramir can give them bonuses as well in accuracy. They are absolutely lasering these heavy archers here. I do feel sorry for them. Oh my gosh, yeah. They're getting rear shot right now. And Goblins have had enough. They are going back. So it looks like they're going to have to try and just use brute force to try and get through. See what they can. Again, more volleys coming in over here. That'll be Dale with his yeoman archers. Trying to support this choke point. I mean, they're making decent progress with the attackers. I feel like for like a lot of tier 2 sort of shock. I mean, we are now seeing some tier 3 arrive with those Mordor Uruks being sent in. But yeah, there's a lot of half-orc axes being sent in. There have been Uruk-hai infantry as well sent in. But they're making some progress. It's just a long way to go still, which is kind of concerning. Still a long way to go. There's still a lot of units to take out. I mean, they could pull... They don't really need the Citadel Guard here, I personally think. Well, they do. They need a Citadel Guard there just to guard, but they don't need Citadel Guard. They could put Watchpost Sentry, I think, over there, because I've rarely seen players send any cav all the way around here, all the way, and then up this way. And often I think players do it because they just don't presume anything's going to be guarding there. And I think they should play off that going, they'll never think anything's there. Like, these guys are hidden. They do not know that there's even stuff guarding these choke points. You could pull this back, and they'll be like, yeah, there's something else here. So I'd personally shift the Watchpost Sentry over here, and then have that Citadel Guard ready on the front line. Just somewhere, you know, I don't think you need 2 spears in the back line, basically. Because one of those choke points never is touched. Absolutely the one currently the Citadel Guards are at, defend. But the one the Watchpost Sentries are at, just leave it. Like I said, it's rare that anyone goes all the way around there as an attacker. But I've seen once or twice players put like cavalry or a guerrilla deployed unit, or any unit. I don't think it even has to be guerrilla deployed. I've seen people put something there, so that's probably what Dale is thinking. It's not that necessarily he's going to loop around with a unit that's on the front lines, but rather he's left something back there of the attackers. That could, you know, sneak in, and which possibly is why they should have brought a cav unit instead, like as a general potentially, because then the cav can just, like, if there's something was to get in, even unless it's a spear, you could just send the cav and just deal with it, put the fire out quite quickly. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Eventually, they will have to draw those troops away, I imagine. I like how all the villagers back here as well. I know we're not looking at the battle. We're only quickly looking. Look at all these villagers. They're just minding their own business. They're like, yes, it's a lovely day. Not worrying, not knowing that there's thousands of orcs and men battling for well, basically the future of them. If the orcs win, then it's going to be man flesh and villager flesh for them tonight. But if the men win, well, then the villagers, you know, keep their lives. It'll be a great feast, I'm sure. Not really sure on what. What would you be feast on? Probably, you know, livestock and ale. At least currently right now, the villagers are naive of what's going on, what chaos is going on. If they break through, though, the orcs, they will know. Oh, they'll know. But again, still no sort of pressure anywhere else. We're just seeing cycle charge after cycle charge here right now. Numbers-wise, they have now dropped below 3,000 of the defensive, 2,800. Still not like masses. They're nearly at 2-to-1 here. Actually, they will be. They're very much at 2-to-1. If not, actually better than 2-to-1. They have less than 5,000 now to the attackers, 4,900. Yeah, they need to have 5,600 to be 2-to-1, I think. It's terrible maths, potentially. Possibly, but anyway. They're doing okay, but like I said, reassuringly, they are still got a lot of their elite. The Grenadiers, for instance, for Isengard, can really change the landscape of the battle. Quite literally. They'll put craters in it. But I still do think archers need to be brought forward. And also, you know, maybe look at attacking other choke points. Along with this one that they're fighting in. Like, just try and stretch the defenders. Because worst comes to worst. Like, they are wasting their strength in this one choke point, and they will keep having to funnel stuff in here with the attackers, and they'll run out of other stuff to attack elsewhere. The defenders then can just start peeling off units that then go and support the center. They still have plenty of reserves at the moment that can just be slotted in there. It looks like now as well, Dale and Gondor got all their archers on this one side. That is mainly because the goblins are here as well. So right now, Gondor is just mirroring where the goblins are going, which is really good play, to be honest. It's an easy way to counter. Though he's not got all of his archers there. One Arthurian Ranger is still over here, hidden. Whether that's just because there's no space for it, or I don't know, whether he just forgot to move it. But yeah, he could have shifted over here, I guess. So in theory, actually, it would be 8 versus 7 archers if it came to a duel. Though all these archers here potentially wouldn't necessarily be going to play. If they were to set up all their archers here, Evil, they could focus down one unit. That furthest Arthurian Ranger might struggle to get into the range fight. Also, the problem is the bow rabble have 150 range, while all their opponents have 200. So they've got to get a little bit closer whilst under fire, so they're already at a disadvantage. The advantage for the bow rabble is that they do have 300 man units, so they can afford to take a couple of losses and then still win a range fight. This infantry line is certainly thinning. Yeah, most of these like Citadel guards are all gone. They're literally down to 1. Vineland Guard's also pretty thin, so soon they are just going to be killing off the polearms here. I was going to say killing off shock infantry, but no, killing off polearms in here. And they don't look like they're in any mood to send in another unit there. I mean, they got a couple of Vineland Guards knocking about. I also don't think I would bother with this polearm here, this Lake Town Guard. I think just have the one Citadel Guard. I really don't see them attacking over here anytime soon. That might change as soon as the polearm gets removed. They'll send a load of shock there. Yeah, at the moment it looks quite fine. And this is the choke point they're going to try and break through. And they, at the moment, will. But yeah, here comes another Violent Guard. So, for now, the status quo is going to just remain like this. It's not exactly the most thrilling of sieges, but I've been told it's very, very close. So I'm imagining something is going to give. I'm interested to see what these polearms have got as well. Like I have a feeling these polearms are going to have some massive kills. Oh, we're going to see a counter charge here. Violent Guards going in. They're not going to allow the Mordor Urks to get a charge onto the polearms. Instead, they're going to counter charge. Try and kill as many of these dirty little orcs. And instead, we're going to see the orcs go back in. They'll now counter charge with the Mordor orcs. More marauders coming forward. How much of the city's been burned? 7%. That's not even enough yet to affect the morale. I would just send one of the marauders or whatever it is at burning stuff. Just send it around over here. Just get everything burnt to the ground. And we are going to see a pike come forward now. So we're going to see an Uruk-hai pike come forward. So this might change the situation. This also might draw the attention of archers. So it might also give the opportunity for the evil archers to come forward because they could be busy shooting that that pike rather than anything else. There is an Athelian Ranger here shooting something. Oh, it's shooting the shock as it goes in. Polearms are losing. They are nearly spent. And if the polearm dies, this choke point could get just ever easier to try and take. Because it could just be swords in there. And in a moment, we're going to see pikes going for evil.
An entire unit has perished.
I think that's the Citadel Guards. I think that entire unit has just perished in there, yeah. I can't remember what this Coast Guard started on, but it's on a silver chevron. It's now routed at 30 troops left. It has done its job. Yeah, I mean, that's a Lake Town Guard there. Have we got any more? Yeah, we have a Coast Guard here. This literally has 0 chevrons. And pathfinding issue there. He's actually going to pull this polearm out of the line, and he's going to send it back round and support there. So yeah, that's got a lot of kills. Like a lot of kills is that polearm. Hopefully the next one can do just as well. Yeah, Violent Guards, they seem like they're doing okay in this front line, but a sword-on-sword fight, that won't last forever. That Violent Guard can be ground down pretty quickly. If they can get a polearm in there, like I said, it's back to the status quo. Sort of just a lot of shish kebab orcs and
The enemy
urks.
refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
And let's look at the numbers actually while the battle goes on here. Nearly 4,000 orcs and urks left. We're getting close to 2,500 men left. Polearm has returned, but its battle effectiveness is pretty much gone. We're going to see the Lake Town Guard going next. The Polearm there is actually going to hold on. And yeah, why is they taking up the Lake Town Guard out of here now? If I was evil now, I'd start maybe looking to attack here. I'd get things like the Goblin Bodyguard to go over there, just get a tier 4 unit, and maybe a polearm as well. Send something really, really nasty. Or also send the Grenadiers over there. Like, all the archers are not over here. I mean, he would probably drag them over, seeing the Grenadier movie there, but the Grenadier potentially could just either kill the Citadel Guard outright, or force it back and give you that choke point. And that would maybe initiate some movement for the rest of the force. It would certainly feel like a shock infantry backed up by either a polearm or the Grenadiers should be going over there. Now that like the Lake Town Guard's left that choke point, that Citadel Guard looks vulnerable. The Violent Guard, I don't know where the inspiration came for their armor. Something, I mean, it's never been changed. It always just kind of like, I mean, I don't know, maybe like being called Vineland, I thought it'd be more like, look like grapes. I mean, they got purple on them, but they are like just basically, they look like they're men straight out of the sea. Literally wearing like shell armor and shields. Really odd. I mean, there are like inland seas around Dawnless and Dale. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Oh, here we go. Literally, this guy is like reading, like clearly listening to what I'm saying in his commentary. We're seeing Spear Warriors being sent over here, and we've also got 2 Goblin Bodyguards being sent over there. So like I said, he's sending the right units over there to go and try and challenge that. And Archers are going as well. Very nice. I think this is a good idea. I'd get the Archers, I'd set them up. I don't know how far you can pathfind over here, but if you can set them up like here, might be able to get in range. Get side shots into the Citadel Guard. Might be enough. And then with the cycle charges of the bodyguard, that might be enough to break through. Athenian Rangers, as you can see here, they're about to set up. He's probably going to try and get a volley off of the Goblin Heavy Archers as they go by here. Yeah, I would shift these Athenian Rangers on the line. I get them over here. Get ready for the Goblin push. Here come the Uruks of Isengard with their pikes though. They might have a bit of joy because, yeah, Athenian Rangers are busy looking at the Goblins by the looks of it. Looks like Dale's Archers are playing pretty dormant right now. But if they brought forward their bow rabble as well, that would also massively help. I mean, it might end up being that they lose all the bow rabble, but it might allow the pikes here just to get freely through to the front line and get some stabby going without being shot. I mean, also, I actually didn't take into account there's 3,900 attackers left, but 1,000 of that is all bow rabble. They have 4 units in there, so it's 1,000. They're 250 or 300. They are 300s. Yeah, it's like 1,200 archers. In go the pikes. Backed up by Stormers. This is the elite sword now for the Urukai going in for Isengard with his big siege shield. Backed up by Pikes, you'd hope they maybe have some success. Polearms are supposedly better than Pikes when supported by infantry. On a one-on-one basis, Pikes will beat Polearms. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here today, because both sides do have infantry support. We've got Goblins setting in Marauders as well. And I don't know where the Goblins are going with all these units. Kind of just dance around. They just need to... they're getting shot at still. Goblin Heavy Archers, yeah, they're concerned about that. Are the Rangers shooting them from all the way back there? Surely not. And the swords are losing. Look at that. White and Stormers are losing this fight. Urukai Pikes also don't seem like they're winning, but they're not losing. Still, I feel like they just need to start using the bow rabble here and start shooting these yeomen. Like, the Pikes are distracting the yeomen. Send these guys forward. I know they're probably worried about this unit here, which is entrenched on the wall. It's pretty hard to kill. Who cares? Just shoot these guys back here that aren't entrenched. There you go. Pikes are potentially beating the Lake Town Guard. They're in combat even. The Lake Town Guard are losing. So you could count it as the Pikes are winning. Yeah, this line's holding for now. It's holding for now. The swords are losing now. And the polearms are not doing so bad. The pikes are really dropping in number. Less than 100 of them left now. That's not looking so good. Faramir over here is still harassing the Goblin Archers. And look, they're being able to get any sort of response off here against the Athelian Rangers. I mean, reassuring, I guess, because these are the more of a threat, I guess, for
The enemy have rallied
the
their
Grenadiers.
units.
They are running out of ammo. I mean, one of them has about nearly half left. But the rest are like either a third, less than a third of their ammo. But the Grenadiers might get a clear shot at the defenders with their grenades. And like I said, they can do a lot of damage. And not just a lot of, like, splash damage that actually kills stuff, but also just, you know, morale damage. This will be a beautiful target for them. I mean, they could bring up the Grenadiers now, run for them. I personally think that's always the best strategy. It's like you give your opponent multiple targets to go for. Like, now would be the time. There's never a bad time to bring up those Grenadiers, I'd say, at this point. Like, now would be a great time just to try and blow that choke point open and then rush in some shock, either like the Marauders here or the Goblin Bodyguards. Get those guys in and cause chaos. I mean, they might be able to block it off the choke point again with the Violent Guards, or at least, you know, contest that area. And even the Athenian Rangers might be forced into melee. But yeah, you just got to give your opponent something to think about, always, constantly. Still yet to see the Grenadiers move. The Archers are sort of keeping themselves in the jurisdiction over here. It seems like Gondol's... I was going to say Gondor doesn't seem bothered anymore, but no, he's turned around again. He has turned around. 15 minutes left on the clock. Still no change really in the status quo. Like, nothing has really changed. We've just been fighting this one choke point. It's now 2,500 against 3,300. And arguably you could say now the forces of evil are outnumbered. Because even though technically they aren't on paper, there is a lot of bow rabble which are not doing much other than adding numbers. I mean, they haven't got all their ammo, which is huge. But like, if they get into melee, they are not doing anything. I mean, they're not being used at all. That is the problem, and probably why the defenders are doing so well. They've used their archers. The attackers are fearful to use their archers because they're fearful of losing them. I mean, yeah, look at this Goblin Heavy Archers here. 65 out of 190. Like, so much ammo left. These guys have got like 2-3 volleys off, and that's it. He's that fearful of losing his archers. He's not using them. He's not going to challenge. Like, if he just persisted in a range fight and just, you know, accepts he's going to take losses, but kept targeting Faramir, he'd probably kill Faramir because you'd probably in an even 4v4, even if you lose the range fight, you'd probably take 2 archers out of the game for the defenders if you're lucky, but definitely 1 at least, and severely weakening a second, depending on obviously what archers you're fighting against. Yeah, so if he targeted Faramir, that could be his one he takes out. Kill the general, or at least rout him. It could be very, very different. It would make a very different, you know, outcome of the game. But yeah, we're going to see more shock charging here. Oh god, camera, behave. Yeah, still just persisting in this choke point here. There would be mountains of dead orcs and men here. There you go. The choke point holds again. They're going to cycle in and out once again. I'm still not a big fan of the old cycling in and out. I think just persist. Especially not taking everything out as well. I'm a big anti sort of take everything out. You take more losses. But you take losses anyway just cycling in and out. And I think that's... I don't think it's worth it. Again, another choke point that's just being opened up here with no polearms. I think they're going to shift this one to the middle to support the other Lake Town Guard. And actually we've seen the Violent Guards here counter... They're not allowing, well, I mean, that Mordor Uruk, sorry, not Mordor Uruk, that Goblin Bodyguard is going to get a charge off, but the Marauders did not get a charge off. Not the last thing in the world, the better unit did. But the Violent Guards, you argue overcommitting, they should just stay strong with the Lake Town Guards, to be honest. We're going to see another Violent Guard, though, get sent in. I think that is going to be the death of this, Violent Guard here. It's already losing. Pulls back the bodyguards though, and the other unit goes in. He should really charge in the Marauders before he pulls back the bodyguards, I feel like. Take too many losses. I think that was a 154 it was, and it's now gone down to 146. Like, it took nearly 10 losses just retreating. Like, for an elite tier 4 unit, it's quite a lot of losses. We have more swords, more polearms put into that choke point, so they're looking fine for now. But again, another choke point with just spears in. They are looking thin on the ground. We also have seen the watchpost sentries now come out of their choke point. They're now sort of a little reserve. They're not doing much yet. They have been... Oh, they're shooting the Citadel guards. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, just bring some shock then forward as well. If you're going to do this, like duel, then bring some shock into the game as well. Then again, it gives the Athelian Rangers two options: you shoot all the you shoot the Goblin Archers, or you then start to shoot the shock that's charging your spears and going to break through. And if he starts to shoot the shock, then the Archers in a free reign, so and actually might be able to use some more of their ammo and not risk dying off. The rabble still has not moved. Still not moved an inch, but there's not a lot of reserves here for the attackers as we're looking from this perspective here. There's 3,000 attackers left, 2,300 defenders. I mean, the yeomen certainly won't be that effective in melee, but they amount for what? Maybe like 500, maybe 600. I mean, we call it like, yeah, that's 800. Then minus 40, it's going to be actually 760 yeomen. So that's actually quite a lot more than I thought. They're not necessarily going to do so much in melee, but the Athenian Rangers, they'll be absolutely of use. So again, if you were to take it into account,
one of our units has used all its ammunition.
Like actual combat effective units, Evil's somewhere around 1,800, and then the defenders are somewhere around, I don't know, sort of like 1,500. It is quite close. I mean, yapping about just numbers right now, but it's something to take into consideration, especially as the battle goes on. And like the smaller your army, like cheaper units will break quicker. So like, and also some of these units, like archers especially, just do not stand a chance in melee. Like bow rabble will go in and they will do nothing. Especially against things like Citadel Guard and polearms. They're just going to run in and die pretty quickly. And do, as we saw kind of with like the Mordor Rabble Spear variant, when he got attacked by Violent Guards, got charged and did no real damage to the Violent Guard. And as you can see here, just got cut down in its droves. So yeah, that's what I'm concerned about will happen with the Bow Rabble. Hopefully they'll use their ammo, so they are of some effect, I guess. They need to be starting to be used. I think at this point, though, Dale has probably, I don't know, these two have quite a bit of ammo left, but the other two are pretty low on ammo. They might not have enough ammo to actually kill off all the Bow Rabble. And did he bring 3? Did he not? Oh, yeah, actually, he only brought 3. It's not even 1,000. It is more like 900, so actually, that's 2,000 effectives left. Okay, I'll take that back. So, yeah, of course, he's got 4 range, including the Grenadier. Hence, he's not been moving forward his archers, because he's immediately at a disadvantage when it comes to unit numbers. He's got 3 against 4. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Someone's probably banging on about that in the comments. Like, Pope, you're an idiot. There's a reason Isengard's not pushed. And it's for that very reason. And again, the bodyguard retreat. They're going to just keep cycling in and out. And he's going to countercharge. He's not going to allow those bodyguards to get a charge off. It's probably, again, quite effective. And the guards are winning. Shock infantry, is good, but it does rely a charge. Oh, look at this. Athenian Rangers sallying out, actually. They're desperate to finish off those heavy archers, or they shoot the polearms. Shooting the polearms. Oh, no, they are shooting the archers. Their intended target. Where are those wargs? They should be. I mean, I don't think they're going to ever catch those Athenian Rangers. He's going to immediately run back inside. And he has routed a couple of the archers. There you go. Look at that. So much ammo left. But you are going to see the Bow Rabble also get shifted over here. Dale has also moved his archers. Sort of shadow. I think he's keeping one or two archers over here just ready for the Grenadiers. But I get the Grenadiers forward soon. Send forward Goblin King, send forward the White Stormers, maybe the Pikes get in one last solid push to try and break through. There you go, look at that Mordor Rabble breaking at 88. It's kind of reasonable, but they're breaking because of all these units running away that are near to them. And Ban's power is pretty much dead even, 2,200 against 2,600. Still a slight number advantage for Evil, But slight when it comes to evil is not usually enough. But we'll see. The Grenadier, like I said, and I feel like I'm repeating myself a bit like a broken record, but they do change the game on its head. I remember you used to be able to bring 3 of them. It was absolutely disgusting. So, Ranger here needs to be careful. Yeah, so if he gets caught by polearms, just get in there. He gets stuck into the spears now. There's actually a little gap in the line as well, which I don't know. They might be able to march through that. The wall seems like it's broken a bit, but yeah, obviously these polearms have got all the way to the front. And finally, we have a second choke point that's been contested. It's only taken us like half an hour, 40 minutes. And it's over as quickly as it started. Oh no, it's not, because the bodyguard's going in. Nice. A much better unit to try and get through. And look at that, immediately Citadel Guard losing decisively. I mean, they have been shot at by missiles, but they're getting cycle charged as well by shock. I'm going to see the other one going now. Yeah, Goblins are cycle charging, and they want to make this as quickly kill this unit off as quick as possible, really. Also have the bow rabble over here. They're shooting the Arthurian Rangers. Dale's also, you know, helping by shooting the archers. Now are the Grenadiers coming forward? They are, yes. Brilliant. We might be seeing a beautiful sacrifice here from the rabble. They need to keep this up. They just need to stay in the game a little longer. The wargs have stood right on the front line. Interesting. I bring up the shock. Get them ready. Here we go. Grenadiers are going to move forward. I guess the wargs are ready just to sort of counter anything. So yeah, it looked like Faramir was going to get used. There you go. Grenades go. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful volley there. That did a lot of damage. Another volley coming in. They have like 3 volleys each. Wargs just need to take out Faramir here. And he's going to now blow up this one as well. Yeah, nice. Oh my gosh, doing a lot of damage. Can he get another volley off here? Like, he's done a severe amount of damage to these units. There you go. Look at that. Forcing these guys back. You need to get infantry up here, really. Like, what the remains of the infantry over here needs to be pushing. They are shooting the Grenadiers, but they have enough armor that they should be able to take a hit. And then the last volley goes in there. It's going to do damage to the wargs as well, but it might kill Faramir. He's got a bit of a volley. He's getting chevrons from this. Throw whatever last few grenades you have, but at least they've used them all up. Some games I see them never use any of their grenades, or few of them. At least he's done a lot of damage. It'll be interesting to see how many kills he's got, because he is killing a lot, like attacking a lot of highly armored units. Grenadiers now can just go into melee, bring up the reserves. Like, the choke point's actually open now. They are not contesting it properly because they side out on these wargs. Problem is, oh, look at that. All the archers have broken. But they have actually broken through here. They are through the Citadel Guards, and they are into the stuff behind them. It's actually now archers that they are fighting here. Arthurian Rangers battling against the Goblin bodyguards. And I thought maybe that the... the general is actually shifting into this choke point to kind of keep the status quo here going. I don't think they need the spear to support. They're going to need to try and start blocking off some choke points over here. Because, yeah, evil's in. It's concerning. A lot of these archers, are starting to break. It's now 1,600 against 1,700. The attackers have less troops than the defenders now. It's kind of concerning. And there you go. Gondor's general is gone, though. Faramir has fallen to the wargs of Isengard and ripped to shreds by those hounds. As I said though earlier, the tier 4 stuff should hold for a while, and that's mostly Arthurian Rangers and Citadel Guards. They're all tier 4, they should hold for a while. The Princess Coast Guard, they're tier 3. They might struggle. Not too much, I would have thought. There goes the Iron Storm. He's going in. He's actually managed to catch the Princess Coast Guard here. I don't know. They seem to have got their phalanx down. Yeoman going to combat here. That seems a bit of a waste to throw them away. Like I said, you want to keep numbers on your side. That could make a difference when it comes to morale. Getting close. Like I said, there's only about 100 men in it. The Arthurian Rangers over here are getting butchered right now by Goblin bodyguards. They are slowing down those bodyguards, allowing the Yeoman of Dale to keep shooting those elite shock. They're getting some decent side shots and actually nice back shots into the Spear Warriors right now, who are guarding against the potential charge here from the Watchpost sentries, who are now going to go in, take on those Goblin scum. And they are killing off the goblins very nicely there. Those archers doing the job, really. The spears are just there to sort of pin the spears. And actually, this choke point was looking disastrous for good, and now they have actually won it. Evil has been pushed back. Over on this side here, 1,200 defenders left. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying that. 1,200 defenders left. 800 forces of evil left. Orcs and Urks. Yeah, this side, we've got the general, the Goblin King being encircled. And over here as well, this is Isengard's general. He's also being encircled, but by lesser units. He should probably beat most of these. That general, though, I think, actually, no, he might be. I think Dale's general's engaging the Windstormer there. And the polearms are doing enough. They're, poking them in the back. Pikes are now getting shot as well with what remaining ammo is left. Like, still have ammo is crazy. Citadel Guards here, they need to kind of pike push a little bit more just to get close to the Citadel Guards, just to, actually be able to do some damage. Yeah, it's crazy they still have a little bit of ammo left. They've done really well, to be fair, with the ammo. I mean, they won the range fight so quickly. They beat the goblins. And Isengard could never contest a range fight because he only had 3 archers because he brought that Grenadier. Here goes Isengard. Isengard's broken. I don't think his general's dead. Oh, no, he has just died now. I think he's been run down. And the goblins are going to break because of army losses and nothing else. And there you go. A Pyrrhic victory for Gondor and Dale. I think one of the rare times I've seen the defenders win on this settlement. But we'll end the replay and have a quick look at the end results. This was sent in by Jackaboy, who was playing as Gondor, so thank you very much, man, for sending this one in. His army of elites, with a little bit of polearm support, did a very nice job. 682 kills, one of the polearms. It's the first one that was in combat. Did incredibly well. One of his Citadel Guard got 200 kills. The rest really actually didn't get that many kills, just did a lot of good holding. Faramir, 210 kills. And then the Athelian Rangers, 446 kills. 247, 266. Yeah, really, the polearms and the archers clearing up for Gondor. The spears just doing a lot of holding. Then we have Dale, played by Aaron. Again, spamming out elites, really, and then having some cheap archers to sort of support. That's his strategy instead. He went Violent Guard spam, 374 kills, 281, 263. 186. Yeah, all of them got triple figures. The worst getting 103. And his polearms, 163 kills. His archers, even though they were cheap, got lots of kills. I mean, they were shooting bow rabble, which does boost their kills, but still 209, 337, 283, 218. MVPs, you could argue, for his side, that's for sure. Then we have Mukli playing as the goblins. I mean, they're not going to have huge kills because they're fighting like smaller units and all elites as well, so they're even smaller again. But I mean, let's see. 86 kills from Marauders is not bad, to be fair. And like I said, I find mostly elites. 134 kills, 145 with the Goblin Bodyguards. It's no surprise. I think they were killing off Athelian Rangers. Archers, yeah, never really saw action. Just getting focused down and killed. Then we have Blue Rock playing as Isengard. Again, not huge kills. Actually, Mortal Rabble getting 115 kills. How? Not quite sure how that happened. The Grenadiers, though, got the most kills for him. 393 kills. Very, very nice. Did explosive damage. Definitely worth bringing them. But yeah, most of the rest of his infantry did not that great. I'm really confused as to how this got 115 kills. I don't think I missed anything, did I? But this would have got this many kills? Really confused. But yeah, there you go. That is today's Dawnless Days siege battle. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show support. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to see some more Dawnless Days action, do check out some of the videos appearing on your screen now. But until next time, I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye for now.